everyone. Welcome tonight. It's Friday, and it's the Friday Fuck Show. Friday Fuck Show number 2, season 2, episode 2. With today, Carl. Welcome, Carl. How are you doing today,
Hi.
tonight? This morning? I don't know. I don't even know what time it is for you right now.
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Evening. Well, morning. I usually wake up at this time, but I woke up earlier for this.
All right.
like, ooh.
So, good morning, good afternoon, Carl. How are you doing today? It's so nice to have you today here.
I'm good.
Great. We are gonna spend 1 hour, 20 together. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff, and the people watching right now, they're gonna learn a bit more about you, and I am also gonna learn a bit more about you. That's the great thing about Friday Folk Show.
Likewise.
Well, the questions are not directed towards me, but maybe, yeah, we'll see. So yeah, 1 hour, 1 hour 20 together. Like I say all the time, it's gonna be leaded by the question that I have here, but it's gonna be more like a chill conversation between us, and yeah, we're gonna talk, have fun. So if you're watching, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Friday Fuck Show, season 2, episode number 2. Thank you so much for accepting. Oh my God! All right. Perfect. Yeah, we needed that. We needed that at least once.
Wait, hold on. Let me help you. With it.
I know, it seems pretty fireproof. Your setup is working better than mine. It didn't do it.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's pretty weird because I have a base station just there, and like there is no way, like in front of me. So like, why is the base station not seeing my? I mean, it's just full body tracking stuff. It's very random. Yeah. So like I said, thank you for accepting being here today with us. And we're going to start with my favorite question, like I told you just before. Something that is really like, there is some cool stories out there, and every story is unique. And that's why I'm asking it all the time. And I think it's a good start for a conversation to start with the basics. You know, we are in the furry community, in the fandom, and it's a big community. What was your start in that community, Carl? How did you discover the fandom? And how did you make your fursona?
Wow. Okay. So the journey, well, the journey has been one of my favorite things to talk about. Because for me, I haven't been in the fandom very long. I've been very, very lucky to have met the people that I have, to have made the friends that I have. It started about like a year and a half ago, I'd say, like officially just deciding like, hey, I'm a part of this. I want to be a part of this. I wasn't like looking through a window anymore. It was like roughly when I decided to take streaming more seriously. And I was using a character, which was, loosely based around my Sona. And then it was like one of those little silly, like, the little hand cartoon would track where your mouse is going. And then when you would activate your mic to talk, it would like look like it's talking. And it was like, that was the start. I saw some like League of Legends streamer using like a similar thing. I was like, that's cute. So I made my own. But eventually, this character got developed. I used to be a dragon, and and then eventually got to this point, which this is actually one of the more recent developments to like my identity in the community as like just I'm a little kobold, I'm just a little guy. But getting to this point was cool because I started streaming, and a friend of mine was a furry. His name's Dan, and he was a furry, pretty openly about it and online. And he was talking with me because I was talking with him about stream stuff. And he said, like, "Oh, I hang out a lot. My friend Harbus, he's a streamer. He's a furry. You know what you should do is you should meet some other furries and then like get to know people. And I'll invite you to the Discord. And you can come hang out with us. We play games every once in a while." And I joined the VC one day. Everyone was hanging out. I felt very welcomed. And then from there, it was just like I met Meowpenheimer, who I made like art because I'm an artist. like that's how I started out, was doing art, and I do like tarot cards and stuff. So I made a tarot card art for Meowpie
Okay.
after one day Harvest, because I was watching Harvest Harvest rated into Meowpie, and I was like, oh, Meowpie's so funny. And another, by the way, another VFur member as well. And gosh, I just he invited me into like a channel to chat after I made like some gift art because he was really excited about it.
Yeah.
And he's like one of my best friends. Harbus is our awesome, amazing best friend as well. They let me in, and like an invasive species, I just kind of like latched on. I was like, I'm here now. And then but that's like the crazy part about the fandom
Yeah.
is you meet one person, you become like a part of the rhythm of a group, and you make a lot of awesome friends that way. You just go from one place to another place, and it's just been such a very accepting and loving like world like this has become for me. Just meeting a lot of awesome people like yourself now, getting to know you now, and
Yeah.
getting to explain my story. And that's become my like kind of whole thing too when I stream now. Is like I want to create a place that people can sit down, be entertained, have a good time, believe in themselves, and then also let people know that they can make a place for themselves. They can find their found family in this community. They can have a place that's awesome for them, and yeah. So that's how my journey started, and I'm just so glad. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, that's a really cool way to start. And that's a prime example of what I talk about in all the Friday Fox Show. It's so we're gonna have a question about that a bit later. I mean, a subject like that for like what you should do when you
Yeah.
join or you want to join. But it's such a prime example of like the the community that includes everyone. And if you just want to see, you join and you can see, and if it's for you, you join and you make friends,
Yeah.
and that's what I love about it. And such a handsome story. But also, I had a little question. Is like, did you know the fandom before, or was it your friend that was an open furry, your first?
So like like everyone, if you're on the internet, and I was on the internet
Yeah.
for like that was like I was always on the computer. It just wasn't a part of the fandom. So I knew what a furry is to the
Okay.
most loosey goosey like degree. Like I didn't really know. I only knew what people would say, and the very typical "this is a furry" type of response, and not the most flattering opinions of
Yeah.
furries I would always hear from other people. Which is another, it's like I always want to try to do whatever I can to change that opinion that a lot of people on the internet have like a broad
Yeah.
opinion of.
True.
Um, yeah, so that was the initial discovery, but then, as an artist, I'm drawing furry characters every once in a while, and then, I just I'm the type of person that plays an RPG game, and I don't want to play a human. I don't want to play an elf. Maybe a dwarf every once in a while, but
Yeah.
like I'm gonna go for the lizard person. I'm gonna go for like the all the unique like kind of
Yeah.
races and stuff. And yeah,
All
no,
right.
it just happens.
Yeah.
Dragons are cool too.
It's actually like a very common way of discovering the fandom because there is a ton of people that just discovered by like being into the more furry hater, community and stuff.
Yeah.
And it just happens so often that you're like, oh my god, I don't like furries, and you start digging into it and just being like, oh yeah, I hate furries, so let me find stuff to hate on. And then those people, they end up being furry because but while digging, you just discover that it's not exactly what everyone says. And but it happens already, and I have some friends that started as like furry haters
Yeah.
and they joined Discord for trolling, and then they were like, oh, shoot, those people are actually nice in the Discord. I'm actually gonna make friends.
Much
So
to like my dismay, like I'll get someone in my chat every once in a while that comes in, and they
yeah,
obviously they're coming in just to be rude. But I try not to like ban them immediately, and unless they say something a little
yeah,
apprehensive, just like oh. But like I try to talk with them and open a dialogue, because I've always been an open-minded person. I've always felt like learning more about something rather than drawing conclusions is a
yeah,
better way
true.
about handling it. So like I'm always willing to just be like, hey, so why do you feel that way? Or like, hey, well I'm glad you're here. You know, thank
Mm.
you for coming here, even if you're here to troll me. But you know, maybe we can talk, and
Yeah.
it's worth opening a dialogue usually.
Did it
At
already
least I find
happen
it. But sometimes,
for you that like
yeah,
someone was
I've had
hating?
one person.
Okay.
Yeah, one person out of 10, one person showed up, trolled, and now they're like somebody that shows up on my stream every day,
That's amazing when it happens. That's
and they just
incredible.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, it's even more so when it's like you started like hating and then you actually watch and you enjoy. Uh, I've had more like I'm not a furry, but I'm still watching, and it's like then a few months
Yeah.
later they become furries. They're like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Let me just.
I got a rep sheet.
I got my first commission. Look at that. It's my first tonight. That's so
Yeah,
cute.
look at this art.
It's so cute when it happens. It's so
Yes.
cute, and I find it's really nice that we have some people that are here and they help those people that don't know, like, how do I get a commission, what do I choose for a persona. The number of time that the question was like, oh yeah, what should be my persona, can you choose for me or something like that, and it's like, no, you need to discover by yourself what you want to have, because well, it's very different. Some people they have a lot of personas and it's actually just characters, and some people they feel more connected to their personas, and
Yeah.
I think it's called like Terian, kind of like they are very connected to their personas.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you
Oh,
need
right.
to.
I actually learned about that recently.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't understand. I didn't know what that terminology, because it's only been like a year and a half. So a lot of it's always funny when someone says something in chat and I'm reading it and I'm just like, what's that mean?
That's so handsome. That's cute. Yeah,
Very much
well,
learning. Yeah.
there is a lot of vocabulary around the furry fandom that you just learn when you hear it. Like that's just
Oh,
normal. That's
yes.
just normal. And it's actually, I would say, it's great that like because when you join the fandom and you're like very young, it's kind of hard to like let's say make
Mhm.
friends and stuff because of all the gap that there is between like being actually 18 and below 18. Like there is a big gap, and I think it's great also to discover the fandom in the way that you did, which is like, yeah, you're making friends directly. You start the stream. I mean, you started streaming and then became a friend. That's a great way to get introduced to the fandom, and you only get the best out of it during that. I feel
Yeah.
like so it's great. It's great. Have you
Mhm.
had a great time so far? That's the question.
My life has been changed in the most beautiful and amazing way,
Oh, that's so
and I
heartwarming.
am eternally grateful for all the love that I have received and all the opportunities I can also give others too, as well as that have been given to me. I'm truly just I'm starting to I'm a very emotional person
Oh
in
no,
not an over the top
it's okay.
dramatic
It's
way,
okay.
but like I like right now, like I forgot to bring my tissue box with me
Oh
because
no, that was not
but
meant
it's
to.
all good. It's no, I cry a
I'm
lot, but
sorry.
that's
Yeah,
just
okay,
that's just
okay,
how
okay.
I am. It,
It's
happy
happy,
tears,
happy crying. Yeah,
happy tears.
happy
It's just
tears.
it's really been such a beautiful journey so far, and I
Mm.
know it's going to continue to be um it's going to
Yeah,
continue to be that way.
it's nice
I'm
to
very
take
hopeful.
time to talk about the good stuff sometimes, because I mean I don't know about you, but
Oh
like
yeah.
you usually talk about the bad stuff and you're like, oh my god, this was bad, and you don't take time to appreciate, like the good stuff that happened. And I think it's nice to take time, like right now, like we're doing, to sit back and just talk about the basics. But the basics are so powerful in a way, and it's cool to think about it and like talk about it. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm so
Oh
happy
yes. Oh
that you have a
yes.
good time. And yeah, uh, just looking at what content you're doing and stuff, you look like you're having a lot of fun, and it's really enjoyable to watch. So definitely, that's great.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. All right,
Thank
such a
you.
handsome way to join the fandom and stuff. That's really good. That's really nice. Um, so you talked a little bit about the streaming part, but so you said it was before being a furry that you started streaming, but what? So this is like,
Yeah.
what drew you into like starting your stream? What made you press the live button for the first time and be like, okay, this is what I do. I
Uh
want to do that.
so like I I started a stream one time for an Minecraft RP community because that's what I did on the internet. I like Minecraft a lot,
I love
And I
Minecraft too.
found out that there was like community roleplay servers that would do like fantasy servers and stuff, and they'd have their own lore. It's like role playing on an MMO, right? Where you oh my
Yeah.
gosh, my eyelash got in my eye. But you'd role play on a Minecraft server. You'd build your own kingdoms. You'd have other people in your kingdoms that would be a part of it, and I'd have like a whole unique chat system. So you could do all that, and I did that for a very long time. And I was going to stream an event for them for the server, so I had like like 50 or so people on, and I was like, that's how I got like affiliate right away, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then my friends just supported me too afterwards. So after that day, I was like, I really liked streaming because I was like hosting like a little event on the Minecraft server. So my friends, they would tune in, they'd watch me play, and I'd play like Dead by Daylight a lot. I pretty much did mostly Dead by Daylight when I started streaming, and then I was just I streamed for like a few months consistently, and then I was like, it's not really my thing. I stopped for a while, and then my birthday was coming around, and my friend of mine, my friend Zion, I was visiting his home, staying with him and his wife, and uh, I got a model of my dragon character at the time, not my Sona, my character, for my birthday as a gift.
Okay.
And I said, like, I think I'm gonna do streaming more seriously now that I'm getting this like model. And well, you can see where it all went from there. I started just streaming every day, and it's a grind. It's like anything. You gotta put your mind to it. Like a hobby, you gotta work towards it. And I kept working on it, and I kept trying to find ways to improve. And like I said, my friend Dan was like, well, if, you're going by a dragon character. You've always been very like furry adjacent, and you've always been open. And I was just like, he's like, meet some other people in the fandom actually. Like, to build a community, you need to understand the community and meet other people. And so yeah,
That's how it
that's what I
started.
started doing. And I'm also like I'd like to think too, I had a bit of a advantage by I'm very comfortable with meeting people. I wouldn't say I'm extremely extroverted, but I'm very comfy when it comes to meeting new people and then just chatting and hanging out and talking. And I went to college for communications media arts, so I learned a little bit about networking too. So I applied a bit of what I learned in college. I applied a little bit of just like my own people skills, and then streaming has just been like very natural and fluid and fun. Just very fun to do.
Okay.
So I love meeting people.
I love meeting people too.
Yeah.
That's a bit harder when English is not your main language. But I don't know. Is English your main language?
Yes.
Yes.
English is my main language, but I've had so many friends over the years, so I'm just like, I understand to a degree. I can understand to a degree because there's always that like divergence when it comes to not having it as your first language. So
yeah, well, the biggest fear is not
totally
being understood. But I mean, I'm trying hard. Like being a host in this show is also a big learning for me. Like it's just practicing and practicing and practicing, and it's getting better and better. I mean, just mentioning that
exactly. It's also just like patience too from the person you're speaking with. The people need to be more patient and allow people the time that they need to be able to communicate properly.
Yeah, true.
It's a two-way street.
Exactly. Well, I hope I'm not doing that bad, but I'm trying my best.
Oh, you're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. And
thank you, Carl.
Again, just thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
You're very welcome.
I had a little other question regarding that. So you said so it was a VTuber, or was it like more like a VR chat avatar, your dragon that you got? What was it exactly?
It was live 2D. It was a live 2D model. It was made by a very lovely person that I got to know. Their name is E_Wolfe on Twitter, and they are super awesome. So I started. It's funny. I started out as a live 2D, and then I went to 3D over time. It was like I had like one model, which was the original dragon, and then the second one was an update to be like a full body. Because
Yeah.
when I started out, it was a half body with one
Okay.
clothing, very little like facial changes or anything. I didn't know like it was if I, we didn't know if it was going to be a thing I kept doing. But then streaming went very well and I was having a lot of fun with it. So I did a re-debut. I upgraded the dragon model, and I also because Sonas, they change over time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you may start in the fandom as one thing, but you might adapt and develop your Sona into a different thing over time. You change as a person, your interests change, your identity changes because we're always changing as people throughout life. And so then the dragon got developed a bit more. I redid my reference sheet, and then eventually on my third update, I was like, you know what? I was getting a little confusing with people when they'd be like, "Are you a dragon or a kobold?" Because I started drawing myself as kobold more,
All right.
and I started identifying myself more when people would refer to my Sona as a kobold, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to commit, and then my model artist Populous Populous 89 or the Populous 89 on Twitter. Populous, amazing artist. They've done a lot of different streamers, a lot of friends of
Yeah.
models, and they were like my dream model artist. I waited, I contacted them, and then they were open and level 3 kobold because third model level
Yeah.
3. I'm not
And
level
it
1
looks
anymore.
extremely cute model
Oh,
art.
I'm so
Want to
happy.
mention that. Amazing. The textures are really good. The props, amazing. I love everything about you right now.
Yeah,
It looks great. It's
thank
amazing.
you. It's so crazy when you get this model, when you get like a model that it especially like a custom model, it feels
Yeah.
like natural, or you get it customized and it just feels like nice and natural. It feels like you look at it and you're just like, wow. Because I'm looking at my hands right now, I'm just like, whoa.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if you have like a fursuit,
yeah.
but that's exactly what you feel.
Not yet. That's level
when
4.
you put a fursuit. That's what you're describing
That's
right
level
now.
4.
It's the exact same feeling, but without the VR headset and like suffering more by the heat, but
suffering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's what I would say. Like having a VR headset is like basically like fursuiting for me, but without the burning. I mean, except in summer, but that's the drawback of the first. I mean, it has the cons and the pros and like the VR and the fursuit, but yeah, that's it's so great. And like you're gonna love having a fursuit. Just hearing you talk right now, you're gonna love it. You're just gonna be bouncing around. And it's gonna be great. I can't wait to see that. I don't know if it's planned at some point, but I can't wait to see that.
The goal so far is I'm trying to save up. I mean, when I go to visit, I'm gonna be visiting my partner soon, and they actually had some extra foam at their home, and I was gonna try my hand at maybe shaping something out of the foam to make a head base. But if we can't figure it out, then I've been saving up because I would like to at least get a head of my Sona, which would be really cute, and then go from there and see like how I feel about it and all.
Okay.
That's the goal.
There's a lot of tutorial online to how to create.
Yeah, there's so many good resources out there.
Yeah. Like if you want to create your own fursuit, you're backed up. There's a lot of stuff. Like there's just a lot of videos that you can look and it's skills also. Like the first thing that you're gonna create is not gonna be perfect, but it's just like art or
no, not at all.
Everything, like it's just practice. You're gonna do one, it's gonna be like
exactly.
Next one will be better, and then it's gonna be better and better and better, and you're gonna All right. I wanted to say something about the custom stuff, but I forgot. So I'm gonna say something else.
Okay.
So we talked about your debut in the fandom and stuff like that. The way you made friends, and I think it's always nice to give some advice to people that are maybe watching and they're like too shy to like. Or maybe they don't even know. They're like, "Oh, I love what I'm watching. Mm-hmm. I love the fandom. Where do I even start? Where do I even start? Like, making friends, entering the community? Because there is no like how to and the
No,
internet or
there's no.
anything. So
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it is such a like a right place and the right time,
yeah,
and it's sometimes, which is not easy to. It's kind of the easy way out in saying things, but it's like I don't know. Hi, camera. Hello, everybody. Sometimes it very much is like a being in the right place at the right time, just like
yeah,
it reflects life, whether it's on the internet or if it's in person. You might have chosen to go to the supermarket one day, bumped into somebody, and next thing you know, you're both like together and happy and living in a home together. You know, you never know who you're going to run into, who you're going to grow close to. I'd say the best way to really get to know somebody, and obviously within, because it takes one person to also, establish communication. The other person also needs to give you communication response. I'd say, join a community Discord server of maybe like a streamer you watch. Maybe, one of, Zav, like, like you can join a community Discord server and just, hang out, go to community events.
yeah.
VRC has there's so many streamers. There's so many people that aren't even streamers that have VRC community nights that you can go and go in. You don't need a model. You don't need VR to even get on and hang out with people.
True.
I know a lot of friends that just use desktop, and you can just go to these events, play some games, talk with people, hang out, mingle. Um, I know there's probably chat rooms. There's probably like different
Yeah.
chat rooms and stuff out there that you can go to. But the moral of the story is just like you're never gonna meet anyone unless you put yourself out there. And I know for some people that can be hard
Yeah.
because we all have our own different comfort levels. Just take a breath and remember that someone is probably very nervous as well when you're talking to them. Listen, I had anxiety for tonight. I had anxieties because we hadn't really gotten to meet one on
Yeah.
one yet. But at the same time, I'm sustaining my anxieties because you also voice the same. You're like, oh, this is our first time. Hope
Yeah.
everything goes well. And I'm like, yeah, because we both mutually feel the same way. And I like to I like to let people know what's on my mind right away. I don't keep things to myself, and so I'm usually pretty out with it. And that's what I always want to say. It's like 9 times out of 10, the person you're talking to is probably equally as nervous. Don't worry about a thing, and don't worry about it. First impressions or anything. Sometimes things don't work out right away, or you might meet somebody and things might not work out right away. Just keep trying. Just keep trying. Put the effort in, and don't worry about a thing. It'll happen eventually. You will meet people. People will come into your life that you may never have ever expected. So
True.
yeah.
That's right.
Sorry, that was a lot.
No. It was amazing. That's exactly what the question was about.
Oh,
And you made a lot of points that I didn't think of, and it's great because actually you're right. Like the first way that I say is like community days, VR chat. Thanks to VR chat, like back in the days, you could not
yeah.
just go like that and meet people like if it was in real life, like. And you don't even need to have a VR headset. If you have a VR headset, it's good, but you don't even need a VR headset. And there is so many ways to meet furries and people in VR chat.
Yeah.
But you're also right in the fact that in order to meet people, you need to do it. You need to maybe put yourself in like in a discomfort for some time because you're like,
Yeah, a little
I need to do it.
discomfort.
Yeah, I need to do it. And then that's how you like meet new people, you make friends, then the community is so acceptable, accepting of like everyone that you're gonna find people that vibe with you and like just do it. If you want to join the community, just do it. And it's also the same for exactly that's a perfect link between the next stuff that I wanted to ask. um, so we talked about joining the fandom, but what about streaming? What would you give some advice to someone that wants to stream? What's like, in your opinion,
Oh.
the the basic advice? I'm someone. I'm seeing your stream, Carl. I love your stream, and I want to stream just like you. What do I do?
Thank you. It very much is it's a labor of love, and the amount of effort you pour into what you do, it reflects and it shows. I think the best advice I can give somebody is to in a very similar way to, you know, how I started out, is to actually meet your peers. Put the amount of time, like sometimes it's a lot of, you gotta pour a lot of time into streaming, because you are your own boss.
True.
And you establish your hours, you establish when you're going to stream. You should always, and I wouldn't, so it's peer to, you know, person to person, it's always very different. It's a little bit of luck, I won't lie, there is a little bit of luck to it sometimes, but there are things that you can do to increase your odds and to, you know, make it more comfortable for you and make it work for you. Pick a schedule that works for you, be consistent about your schedule. The community Discord is always a great way to establish your community and work with the people that love your stream. And it doesn't matter whether you start out and you're at 5 people or 2 people or 10 people or 30 people or 40 people. You know, over time, the more you stream, that will grow. That will get smaller. It will go up and down depending on the weather, depending on the time of the month. And you just gotta remind yourself to turn off that little button that shows how many people are watching you, and just have fun with it. Have fun with it. As long as you're having fun, the people watching you are going to be having fun. I promise you that. They're going to hang out. People are going to support you. Your peers are going to support you, and just do things that make you happy at the end of the day. Don't push yourself to play the big new game. Honestly, I would even say avoid the big new games. Don't play the big new games right away, because everyone wants to play them. And that means typically no one's really gonna, you know, check them out because they don't want to get spoiled. Yeah, it's like a little side thing, but ultimately just have fun with it. And even if you're just, you know, whoever you're affecting with your stream, whoever's watching, that's what's important to always remember, is those people right there. They're the ones they're there, they're having fun. Don't think of the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Just focus on what's in front of you and have fun with it. And then over time, you know, things will grow, and you'll have an awesome experience at the end of the day. You'll have a fun story to tell later on in life, and you know, just be able to share one day.
Yeah.
Don't stress yourself.
It's really true what you're saying about the viewer count. Also, something amazing that I think every time I say it, it's like pretty shocking. But if you have like 2 viewers, you already have like more viewers than 98% of the whole Twitch. Yeah. If you have like
it's
2 people watching,
crazy.
Yeah. But it is true.
Like, my friend Ellie just started. She mods for a lot of different people. She actually mods for she mods for Leroy and Andre and stuff, and she gets around. And she started off in the fandom, just, you know, or rather in the fandom streaming side of things, because funnily enough, the Twitch side of the furry fandom is very small.
Yeah, it is
very small. Even like, I think like it's like YouTube might be bigger furry scene than like the Twitch scene of YouTube for like compared to YouTube. But so she started out like modding and being a part of communities, and then one day she's like, I feel like streaming, and I've been keeping track of her progress. And she's, you know, she was like, she was like, you know, 5 viewers, and then she said something really beautiful the other day, which was like, she noticed that she gets like 30 people consistently now since she started streaming like 5 months ago. And that, I was just like, that's huge, because that was also like for me too. When I started streaming, I didn't really have huge growth or anything right away. But even if you notice, like, oh hey, for the last 3 months I went up 5 whole viewers, that's 5 people consistently stopping by, enjoying your stuff. That's amazing. And that's actually, oh my gosh, like, that's a lot. That's like, at least, what is that, like 45 to 30? It's weird. It's so weird how it goes from like 2 to 5 to 10, and then you're already like jumping up like up to the 50% of Twitch to 40. No, it's crazy.
I think it's like so 5 viewers is more than 90% of Twitch. Like there is like 80% of the whole Twitch that is streams with 1 viewer or less. Like literally, it is 0.
That's why I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for the community, and that I've gone to know, and for the people that I've met. Like I constantly say say this on stream, but as a streamer, I am the one that should be thanking the people watching. Not like no one should thank me for a stream. I should be thankful for you because
Yeah,
I couldn't
exactly.
do this without you. Zav couldn't do this without all of your support and all of your love. It's encouragement that keeps us going, and yeah, thank you.
Exactly. You're
Oh
100% right in that. Thank you for watching, by the way, guys. Everyone watching right now,
yeah.
thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's thanks to the people watching and enjoying that we are here and
Yeah.
we keep doing that, and all the hours that we put into the back, like when we're not streaming. Because streaming, what I always say is that being on live is the fun part of streaming. Like
That yeah, it's the fun part. Keeping
yeah.
the social. I honestly, if there's one thing I can get rid of, it'd be the social media part about it. That's been
Oh
the
yeah,
most
I
like
hate it.
dumpster fire thing that it's like, oh gosh, oh no. I hate the social media side of like streaming and everything. Ugh,
It's like
nasty.
you don't want to do it, but you kind of have to do it a little
Yeah,
bit.
you
Like it's
have
that
to.
weird mix.
It helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps with like advertisement, putting yourself out there. It lets people know. It's another,
Yeah, true.
Especially as an artist too. If you're an artist, like that's even harder because
Yeah.
The one website that used to be a bird, they do things that it makes it harder to do that. They've made changes to make it harder, but you gotta there's tricks to defeat that. There's ways to work around
Yeah,
that.
all the tricks.
Oh god, social media is the worst.
Yeah. It's definitely one of my least favorite. I mean, I love like editing and
Yeah.
clips and creating those worlds
Yeah.
for the projects. But then when you have to post and like, this is traumatic. That's how I see
Like
it,
this world
traumatic.
is such an achievement. This is
Thank you,
great.
Carl.
Like I was saying to you earlier, like it's very immersive, and I think that's because I made my own VRC world too recently. I was so because I'm so blown away by VRC. I
Yeah.
was like, I have to do that myself. So upon doing it, I have so much respect for other people that make projects now. When I join VRC worlds, or when people say they make stuff and I go visit them, I'm just like, you did amazing, because this is very immersive. I feel like I'm on a talk show set. And also, just like I said earlier, the backdrop's
In
very pretty,
Switzerland.
and
Yeah.
you did a good job. You did a really
Yeah,
good job.
thank you, Carl. Thank you. It
Yeah.
was a big key point because you cannot have a relaxed conversation if it's like only green screens, And imagine it would be only in green
Just-
screens. Yeah, and then
I'm just like seeing the color green after.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
wow. Blind.
Yeah, what they don't know, it's actually a green screen here. No, no it's not. No, that's real. Everything is
We're
real,
sitting
guys.
on blue squares.
Oh, now with how VR chat is made, we will have like reflection of green stuff all over the
That's true,
shaders and stuff. That will be very traumatic. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So the thing that I always say to the friends and like the people in chat, they're like, "Oh yeah," and actually that's true because there is a lot of people. For example, I see Third in the chat, and there's also a lot of other people. But Third is here in the chat. Started streaming recently after seeing the Minecraft streams that I've been doing, and like I'm so happy when it happens because it's like just stream something that you love and you're having fun. That's what I say. If you stream something that you have fun doing, then people are gonna have fun watching. It's a win-win.
Oh yes.
That's why some people they think that streaming is like you do something like popular, like oh my god, I'm gonna stream Roblox. But I'm not gonna have fun streaming Roblox, right? Or like when everyone was streaming Fall Guys, and you could see in the big streamers, like some people they were not having fun streaming Fall Guys, but they were still doing it.
No, they were not enjoying it.
They were just doing it. Like, stop doing that. Like, this is not good to watch. You're not having fun. So one of the key points is that, and I also can understand that some people they don't want to do it as like a, the business side of it, because like full-time streamers they have to we have to think about the business side of it but if you start streaming and you just want to just have fun, like stream something that you have fun doing right at the beginning, and then that's how you're gonna grow your the people that watch. And like I say, your first audience are your friends, your family. Just tell your friends, oh yeah, I'm gonna be live tonight. I'm gonna stream that, and like that's how you start. Well, I say that, but that's not how I started. I was very much not like that. But it's a good, like, guys, you have the advice from the mistakes that people made already, and this is why I like talking about that with other. Fellow streamers. That's why season 2 is only streamers, because like it's great to talk about the stuff like that.
I love giving insight on the things that I've learned, because that's a part of that, like, giving back sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think like it's just like going to going to school, really. Professors, they, students become professors because they want to pass on knowledge. And I'm all for passing on what I've learned, because who knows, like, someone might hear something today after watching, listening to us, and they might hear something that just, like, it clicks in their head, and then they start streaming, and then what they next thing they become like the next, like, Germa.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like, I'm more than happy to do what I can to teach, like, to teach you what you want to know, and I'm always happy to have people ask me questions too. Like, I love sharing what I know, because like, what am I gonna do with, like, I'm not gaining anything out of keeping all of this to myself.
You're gonna
like,
keep the treasure.
yeah, well, I mean, listen, those are the gems, are snacks for later. Those are mine. But I'll share some gems.
Right.
You want a gem? I can get.
Thanks.
I got some rocks on my belt right here. Would you like one of these, like, runes?
Yes,
but
there's already a lot of rocks in my apartment because my fiance is rock collector, so I have a shit ton of rocks everywhere around me right now.
Keep me away. I'm just gonna, like, grab all your rocks. I'm gonna take them. Mine.
But it's literally rocks. Like, it's not. I mean, some of them are pretty, but it's rocks.
Like pond rocks and smooth rocks and
stuff like that.
That's cool.
There's a beach in south of France that has those very rounded rocks, because the shore, the waves and stuff that rounds the rock, and so they are very round, like super round, and
good skippable. Good skippable rocks.
True, exactly. Unless they break when you when you throw them.
Oh.
Yeah, because they are made of like some kind of, like, I say metal. It's got a metal-ish inside. I mean, that's rocks. It's just we're talking about rocks now. It's fun. Rocks are cool. I like rocks, but there is too much rocks everywhere here.
I'm taking notes. Trust me. I'm like, all right. Listen, rocks. A lot of rocks in the house. All right, good to know.
Yeah. So I totally forgot what I was gonna say. The rocks, they bamboozled me. So the fun part, sharing. Oh yeah, we were talking about treasure and sharing the skills. Yeah, like You're right. And this is super true, because I mean, I remember when I started streaming, I was looking up to, like, some streamers. I was like, oh my god, like, all the stuff that they're doing, this is super great. And then you ask them, you're like, oh my god, how are you doing for example, like, oh yeah, there's a TTS on your stream, how are you doing it? And like, there is no how to on the internet to, like, oh yeah,
no, there isn't.
I mean, there is, but the perfect stuff,
there's some, like, a lot of mainstream stuff that you can find.
But if you want
I
something...
think, like, another, like, it's like, exactly, a lot of it's, watching your peers and learning from example. Like, I was inspired by people I would watch. I've always been sort of the type of person to just, like, be quiet in the background, just, like, watch how people act or watch how people treat things. And I'd see people streaming and I'd be like, oh, I like how they kind of handle things. I'll watch and I'll be like, okay, I see something that they're doing. I don't, like, jive with it. And I kind of learn from example, and I think, like, that's also another thing too, is that's how we are. We learn as babies. We grow up and we watch how people act, we watch how our parents act, and so on, and
that defines us.
You learn behaviors.
True, that's right.
And
that's just that's just a part of, like, if everything goes well, for example, when you add a new feature or something like that. But there's also the part where everything we are doing relies on computers, and it's pretty bad
Oh
sometimes.
gosh.
Yeah.
I am a mess. I am not technically savvy at all. That's Jaw's wheelhouse.
All
And
right.
Jaw has been such a he's been such a life change for me. So beautiful. I love him very much.
That's
Helps
cute.
me out whenever anything
Yeah.
breaks.
Well, it's the good part. Like, I also, if I didn't had some people that helped me and still helping me time to time, I would not like be able to stream like I am right now.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
it's like that part of like the I'm good in like software and like making VR chat boards and stuff like that. But when it comes to like hardware, like my computer is literally haunted. Like there is a ghost in this computer. And that's why pretty soon it's gonna change, and I'm gonna buy
Oh,
everything
good.
like 100%. So I don't take any cursed stuff that is on this one to put on the new one, except the
Get
hard
out of
drives.
here. Just throw it
But
away.
that should be all right.
Oh,
No,
oh
no,
yeah,
not throw it away, but it's gonna be used another way. But just starting fresh because of all the problems that I always have. Like, I've changed twice already, and I still have. I think it's me. I think when I touch computers, I curse them or something like that. Like, there is no
yeah.
other way around it. Um, but yeah, the hardware is also a big part, and getting the hardware to work. Like, it's if at the beginning of your streams, when you start streaming, it's a bit chaotic, and you have like no audio or like no music,
Yeah.
or it's normal, guys. Like, it happens.
Stream scuff is normal. Do not listen. Stream scuff happens. And bad internet happens too.
Yeah.
I dealt with a lot of bad internet when I started streaming, and especially when I was getting close to partner too. I was like crashing, and that was very stressful. The best thing you do is try to smile. Remember that it's just one stream. Remember that it's okay if the music didn't play, or you didn't switch scenes, or if you didn't set things up prior, or something might have crashed. It happens. Everyone gets it. The biggest streamers get it. The small streamers get it. People will
True.
understand. People will and also, if someone's not going to understand that, then it's probably not somebody you should really care about being around either. If someone's going to give you, shit about it, let them be a stinker and walk off and keep yourself happy, and remember that the people that
True.
love what you're doing, they'll understand. If anything, they'll probably find it really funny.
Yeah. It's always like when the streamer crash, it's like in the chat, everyone's making fun. It's like,
Yeah,
oh no,
streamer,
skill
streamer.
issue.
Skill issue,
Yeah.
Exactly.
We are the only one being really stressed about it, I feel like, but I mean, it's okay. It's fair.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a lot of good infos, and I hope that if there is some people in the chat that want to start streaming, that you're gonna do it and you're gonna have fun doing it, and maybe everything that we talked about here is gonna guide you a little bit into what to do, what not to do, how to start, and just do it, guys. Just if you want to do it, just do it. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll be interviewing you here. So do it. So I have more people to interview.
Yeah.
Please start streaming, guys. Start streaming. So yeah. So that was a lot about streaming and all the stuff around streaming, and it was really nice to talk about it with you. Something that I experienced is also when playing VR chat is that there is no real, when you talk with friends, either they are streamers or not, but it's not something that you talk about really often, like the hard part, like the how to do it, what to do when you start, and like just generally talking about it like we did, just like taking time to talk about how we started or what challenges we had.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, like you started as a live 2D dragon and then you became a very cute coupled, like that's kind of stuff. Yeah. It's nice to talk about it. But you mentioned also the fact that you're an artist, and that's what we're going to talk about right now.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And something really interesting that I think I asked that to Andre, but well, we don't have artists every Friday function, so it's nice. I'm going to ask you that question. So I asked the question with the fandom, but how did you started drawing, being an artist? What made you into like, I want to draw, I want to create stuff? I think that's really interesting to know what drew you into becoming an artist.
Okay, well, when I was very young, I always liked to kind of doodle and mess around, draw little comics for myself, and I loved art classes, in the the earlier school,
Yeah.
because I guess like elementary school and high school and going on up from there. My mom was an artist, and she taught me how to paint
Oh,
with acrylic paints. She would buy me watercolor paints. She'd buy me the paper because we didn't have a lot of money growing up. And we would go to the dollar store. We'd get the really cheap paints. We'd get the really cheap paper, the markers and the pens, all that stuff from the dollar store. And I would mess around. She did a lot of art in her youth, and she did a lot of art in her middle age. So I'd say I got my creativity from her, and she taught me a lot of the basics and got me going at a young age to just like draw. So it was a little bit of like hand training, because whenever you start out in art, that's the
yeah.
one thing that's usually tough for people, that stops people from doing it, is that they struggle with like their first lines, and it gets like really, they don't get smooth lines, and a lot of that has to do with just muscle memory and technique and just practicing. So I started from my mom, and um, I thought maybe I wanted to be an artist. So my first year of college, I initially applied to do like an art course.
Yeah.
Um, but then I learned that I was kind of relearning everything I already knew, and that I was already at a point where I didn't kind of need college to teach me how
Oh,
to be an artist, or I didn't need an art degree. And then a lot of very very serious life stuff happened that kind of when you think you know what you want to do in life, sometimes life finds a way to create a struggle that you must overcome. And I certainly have had my struggles, which when people always ask me, a little bit of a derailment, I guess, to the art question, but just like when people ask me, like, why are you the way that you are? Why are you always so positive? Or why are you always so happy? It's because I've come to realize maybe people that are like that have gone through some tragedies, or they've gone through some struggles, and we all are struggling. Every one of us, we have our struggles outside of what we do. So that's another thing I always try to think about when I see somebody, is that they've probably got something going on. So uh, I ended up leaving college to take care of my mother, and she taught me so much. She was very kind. She passed away from cancer. I took a break from everything. Took a break from the computer. I took a break from college. Took care of her until the cancer took her. Eventually, I got back into doing art again. I'd say maybe art is one of the things that really kept me going. I found that I really enjoyed drawing like tarot cards, because I loved Dragon Age Inquisition, actually, which
okay.
is where that whole thing was inspired by.
Okay.
Because I think when the game came out, they had like Dragon Age had like done like tarot designs and stuff, and then people were like, "Oh, these are so cool!" And then tarot cards became the big fun thing that
Okay.
people can make. And I was like so blown away, because some are painted, some are drawn, and it's a very limited composition, like a canvas that you can do compositions with. So you're really like testing your brain, and so I just started making a lot of tarot card art, and a lot of my like early art was very much inspired by what I had learned from her. And um, yeah, I just got very into doing art from her, and she really
Okay.
started me on that path. And yeah, and then the fandom has a limitless supply of inspiration. People that
True.
are so very pretty. Everyone has very pretty sonas.
Yeah.
Everyone has very pretty designs. I I love doing like gift art for friends whenever I feel inspired, and that's always such a huge thing, and I think it's inspiration. If you really want to draw something, the best thing you can do is act upon it. And that's typically how I work. If I feel very inspired, I'm going to open up my comms, and typically I leave my comms open all the time, because I always love, making things. And if I
Yeah.
feel like making a pinup one day, I'm going to draw a pinup. If I feel like doing a tarot card, I'll do a tarot card.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, that's
it's very
great.
much like mindset. It's all very much a mindset thing. It's a
All right.
if it's a hobby, the best thing you do is study, practice, draw,
True.
just sketch a little, doodle. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So
Yeah.
the first tarot card that you did, they were already like, let's say, animals, dragons, stuff like that, or was it like unrelated
Yeah,
to that? Okay.
they started out with like fantasy, a lot of fantasy stuff, a
Okay.
lot of like knights and then some like mystical like, you know, like some
Okay.
like mystical creatures and mostly humans and stuff like that. And then it started to bleed into like wolf people and elves
Hmm.
and then it turned into lizards and then I did a dragon and I was like,
Okay.
"Oh, this is great." And I drew another dragon and and then like yeah, and then when I started to become more a part of the fandom, I think that's when my art really took a height. I really grew as an artist because
Okay.
I started having more than just like I'm making it to you know do art to make money sort of thing. I was making fan art for people, and then that was like I was like, wow, I actually, oh my gosh, this is like one of the best pieces I've ever done, and it's like a gift
Yeah.
piece. I always found that making gifts, my gift art always was like some of the art that I'm most proud of because I can just have fun with it and it's
Yeah.
coming from the heart and I
Oh
have
yeah.
no
True.
like yeah, like no stress of like performance, I suppose, because I can just like unload and I'm making it from the heart and I'm going to give it to them and I hope they enjoy it really. And I mean
Yeah.
with every piece I do, I really hope
That's
people enjoy.
lovely. Yeah. 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 But
Yeah.
I understand the fact that when it's like a gift piece, you're like, uh, first you want to do it, so you're more motivated. So you put everything you have on it, and well, it turns out great. That's a very that's lovely. I love it. I love that mindset. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank
so
you.
you talked about all the nights and stuff.
Oh
The
yeah.
thing that you talked at the beginning, it was fighter. Was it like a game or I don't remember. You said yeah,
Oh,
it wasn't fight. Yeah.
Dragon Age, the Dragon Age thing.
All right. Is it something like
Um
a bit like magic themed, or I because I have no idea what that is. But
so it, sorry.
no, no, go on,
Um
go on.
tarot cards are a they're a tool and there's a lot of different ways to view tarot cards. There are people that use tarot cards because
Mm.
in a religious sense because they might have like a Wiccan or like some type of occultism to them
Yeah.
because they're meant to tell the someone's
Yeah. Yeah.
fortune. You do readings and all that stuff, and I view them. I view tarot cards more for their
Art, I guess.
in a more
Yeah.
pragmatic way. Art for
Yeah.
their art.
Yeah.
They're a tool that can be used to help people feel more comfortable.
Okay.
So I believe in like the power of using them to help people just like to have like a nice conversation with them to learn
Yeah.
more about people because when you draw your cards every card has a different meaning
Okay.
and I when I make my cards for people I like to design them I like to design them in a way that tells their story or to tell something about them or to portray something that has happened to them. I
Okay.
ask, you know, so I ask clients, I ask them personal questions, or if it's a gift card for a friend and I know a bit about them or I've done my
Okay.
research, I can tailor the design to be, you know, to talk about maybe a triumph that they've gone through recently or a success, or I can make a card that really portrays like the raw emotion of what they've gone through or what I hope that they can go through in the future, like things that can really go well for them. Because tarot cards are
Yeah.
they're a tool to tell someone's
Ah, that's
story,
lovely.
I suppose.
That's lovely. I
Yeah,
imagine the thing like the detail card with a lot of meaning. That's really nice. I love the
yeah.
I love the concept of that. Thank you for talking about the art
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff with me. Um,
I,
it's amazing to
I'm an
hear.
open book.
Yeah, no, but it's good to like hear the stories like that because like it's not every day that you have an artist that you like what they do and you're like, oh yeah, but like how did you start it? Like that's such a dumb question, but it's important, like it's really rare to get the chance to ask that to someone that you look at their piece and you like it, and I like it. I really like it. So thank you for answering that.
Thank you very much.
So we're gonna go away from the art. I mean, just
Okay.
for the span of the Friday Fuck Show. Thank you for talking about it. We're gonna talk about something I talked at the beginning of the stream. I asked you about conventions, and you said that you actually did a convention recently. If I'm yeah. So we're gonna talk about that. Because conventions are like a big part of the furry fandom. They are with VR chat, I think more and more a great way for people to just connect, and you make new friends, and you talk to like a lot of people, and there's a lot of convention in the world. So how was it? How did you enjoy your furry convention, Carl? How was it?
All right. So I've gone to 4 conventions so far, but 3 furry conventions. I'd say maybe 5 technically. I'm gonna count Furality as convention.
Yeah.
Because my first convention experience was Furality Agua, because that was right around when I just started to get to know friends in the fandom and hang out with people, and that was the big thing, and I was very excited for that. And I didn't have a headset at the time. I didn't have VR, so I was in desktop mode. I applied to my friend Hazel's like raffle for Furality tickets, and I totally forgot about the raffle. One day I got a message, and she said, "Hey, you won the raffle. So here's the codes for your tickets." I got 2 tickets, so I invited my other friend to go with me. I was a part of like a group. I was with like Hyoju and Dart, like a bunch of friends. Ray, amazing artists as well, and streamers. But she said to me, "All right, so we got to pick out what your model's gonna be," because I didn't realize I also won like a free retexture of a model.
Oh, really?
With the raffle, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was actually the start of how the kobold became a thing, because I couldn't find a dragon model I liked that was a free dragon model. But there was a really cute kobold, and I was like, "Can we just retexture that kobold to be like my dragon?" And that's how it started to become me being just a fun little guy.
That's funny.
I went to Furality Agua. It was nice. It was really, really cool. And I think like Furality is like a really great way to also just meet people, because I went to a lot of those meetups, and I made friends through just like going into those worlds and talking to people and just getting to know them. And so that was like my first technical Furality. Like Furality's like my first technical con experience. But then MFF came around the corner.
Oh, MFF. All right.
Oh, yeah. So that was, and for those that don't know about MFF, Midwest Fur Fest is one of the biggest cons.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was very new to the fandom. I was actually, it was around the time I was just starting to get I was just starting to like get really, really close with my partner, who's Jal. If you know who Jal is, or might have watched them at some point. Very silly gremlin that dresses in a green suit.
I'm really bad with names.
Does crazy things.
But I'm really sure if I saw a picture, I would be like, yes. But I'm really bad with names, so I would say maybe. I'm the worst with names. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't you worry about a thing. They're a very late night streamer. They do like, they're just very loud. Very loud. A lot of alerts go off. It's just always wild. But anyways, Jal and I had been chatting and hanging out together for a very long time, for almost like the full year, and he finally asked if we could be together. He asked if I was if I'd want to be,
oh, that's cute.
Their boyfriend
at MFF.
And I was like, well, right before MFF.
Oh, okay.
I was like, yeah, like in November. Actually, what date is it? 17th. Tomorrow's our anniversary.
Oh, that's so cute. Congratulations.
Yeah, on 18th. Thank you. He asked me if I would be if I'd be interested to go there and be together, and I was like, yeah, totally. I I was staying with my friend Red Moon, but when we finally went to MFF, I spent a lot of time with Jal just to kind of because we wanted to see how we would, mesh well together in person. Because
Yeah.
on online, like we have the same humor, we had the same mindset on everything. We watched a lot of shows together. We just spent so much time together. And but then when we went to MFF, we just spent a lot of time together, and we knew immediately that we were meant to be
Connecting.
together,
Oh,
and
that's
we
cute.
were
That's so
very
cute.
connecting. Yeah, and so MFF was a lot of fun. I met a lot of my friends there, and a lot of people met me for the first time in person. Not even
Yeah.
like on anything else, which was really funny. A lot of
All
first
right.
time people met me just in person. So not a lot of people knew who I was either. It's because when you're at a con, it's loud. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people. Sometimes your badge is flipped around and they don't recognize you at all.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
The
so,
chaos.
but what was beautiful about that con, and being my first experience with a fur con, is that it is such a expression of gender and beauty, freedom. You will go to a con, you'll either really love it or you'll really really dislike
Yeah,
it
true.
because it can be a lot. Everyone's there, everyone's doing their thing, everyone's running around. So much representation of the fandom are put into these cons. Everyone from every subsection to
All over
interest
the world
groups.
too,
We
yeah.
got panels all over the world. People are traveling from all over to go to these cons. You will meet people that you have known all of your life there for the first time. You'll meet up with your close friends that you've known. You'll re-meet up and catch up or meet new people. And I was so blown away. It was beautiful to see people really get to be themselves, to be free, to be open, and just have a lovely time and to feel comfortable because they're around other people that understand and get it. And
Yeah.
that was why I was like, I need to go to this again. I need to do another con.
Oh, okay.
It was great. And then any chance to be with my partner was
Yeah.
like
Mm.
perfect.
That's great.
So yeah, and then FWA is also just really nice too. We did FWA.
Mm, mm.
It's like smaller. It's a smaller, but still it was
Yeah.
pretty big. And FWA is great too. And I'm going to
It's
MFF again.
yeah, but it's pretty wild for me to like when you say your first. I mean, you went to variety, but like your first convention's MSF, where there's like 10,000 people. It's here in Europe,
Oh
like
yeah,
small convention is like 300, 200 people.
300, 200. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
my
Oh, it's a
favorite
madhouse.
convention.
Once it hits 10 p.m., it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've never been to the US yet, but I guess one day when I will go there, I'll see. Um, I like the small conventions because you can meet everyone and it's great. My favorite
Yeah, you
convention
could see everybody.
is a small one in Switzerland. But
Oh,
yeah, that's cool. And I'm glad you had fun because yeah, like you said, it's either you like it or you get overwhelmed with all the stuff that is
yep.
happening. Well, the
Yeah.
biggest stuff that we have here is like Eurofurence, which is around like 3,000 people, I would say. It gets mad at
Okay.
night. I can see it.
Yep.
It gets crazy mad at night. So just thinking about the 10,000 people that there is at MFF and FWA, it's great. It's great that you had a nice experience, and you're right. You get to meet people that you've known online and you never met. You meet friends. For you with your partner as well, get time to spend with your partner. But also you meet new people that you're gonna be friend with, that you're gonna keep talking with after the convention. And this is like a
Yes.
hub, just like at Variety. The fandom just meets there, and it's a hub to meet new friends and make new memories. Um, I have just a little funny question about that I asked when we talk about conventions.
Yeah.
Um, it's like, do you know what is the rule 6 to 1 to follow at conventions?
Yeah,
All right.
wait, the rule 621? Wait,
Yeah,
no,
the
wait,
rule.
hold on. Do you mean the website
No,
or something else?
something
Oh
else.
no, I have
Not
no
the
idea then.
website.
No, I have no idea. I have
So
no idea.
it's a little funny thing because everyone knows the website is 6 to 1, but it's to remember the minimum stuff to do at the convention. It's minimum 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day
Oh,
and 1 shower.
yeah.
That's the 6 to
Okay,
1
I've
rule.
heard of that.
Yeah, that's the 6 to
Okay.
1 rule.
Oh my gosh. That first con at MFF, I broke the first rule. I maybe
Yeah.
had 4 hours of sleep every night because I don't like going to bed. I'm very much a night owl and I stay up for a very
Oh,
long
all
time.
right.
So I'm very good at staying awake and keeping myself awake. Oh my gosh,
That's a
I
skill.
spent a lot of time just being awake. Yeah, I was always the last one back to the room, so I'd slip in like
Oh
a little
my
creep
god.
and just like climb into bed and then go to bed. And then I'm the first one awake to kind of get,
Oh
because
my
I'm a morning
god.
shower person. So I'm the first one awake to get my shower, and then I'd go out and I'd go find y'all immediately. Yeah, oh gosh, I I
How
stayed
would
up a
you staying
lot.
alive? How were you staying alive during the convention? Just having 4 hours of
I have a
sleep.
lot of energy.
All right.
A lot of energy.
But then after the convention, you sleep like 12 hours every night. All right. All
Oh,
right.
yesterday I went to bed. I went to bed at 5 a.m.
Oh my god.
and I slept till
5 a.m.
7 p.m. yesterday because
Oh
yeah,
my
and I
god.
was so exhausted because the couple nights before I was awake till like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. and then
Oh
waking
my
up at
gosh.
3 p.m. 4 p.m. for like things in the afternoon, like collabs and just
Yeah.
streams and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I
All
have like
right.
days right. Yeah, after the con, I was exhausted,
I
so
can see
exhausted.
why.
Oh yeah.
uh, so that's why there is that little funny rule. Well, it's not like a mandatory. Well, I would say if you're a fursuiter, it is because the last one,
Oh
especially
yeah.
the last one, the shower. If you're fursuit, or even if you're not a fursuiter, the last one is important. Taking showers at convention, really important.
Also, airing out your suit too. I didn't know like because I didn't know much about suits until that was actually what I was like before I like really went to a convention. I was like, I don't think I'd ever get a suit. And then
Same.
I hugged my friend Cinder. I hugged
Yes.
my friend Cinder. He was my first fursuit
Yeah.
hug, and I was like, I get it now. I was like Danny
Mm.
DeVito from that one scene, just like I get it now.
All right. Yeah. Did you try one
Yes,
already or not?
I have not tried one on.
Oh
I
my
think
god.
maybe at MFF,
Yeah.
I
Do
might
it.
try one on Cinder because Cinder and I are the same height and build. So Cinder was like, you should try on my suit on just see how you feel in it." And I'm just like,
That's
"If you want, that's your call."
if you do it, that's gonna be really expensive. Know it. Guess that you're gonna
Oh,
even
I
want
wouldn't
one
go
even
around
more.
with it.
No, but
I
like
wouldn't go. He's
you
very
will try
serious.
it.
He's very serious about his character. Oh,
Oh,
try it. Oh, like I'll
yeah,
try it on. I'll be like, oh, it's.
yeah,
Oh, I
yes,
get it. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's what happened for me.
You
So
can't say it's mine now.
no, but it's more like I get it. The feeling of like, oh no, I joined the fandom, but I would never want a fursuit because when you're not into it, it's very hard to kind of like picture yourself doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the more you talk with people that do it and you get to see in person and you get to try one. And I remember the first big convention I did was your reference, and I got a friend that had multiple suits, and he was like, oh yeah, you can wear that one, just do it and
Oh
go
my
outside.
gosh, multiple.
Yeah, it was
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
It was crazy. I had the best time of my life. And then I commissioned mine 3 months after 6 months after that. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
You gotta send me after this. I'd like to see your suit.
All right, all right. I will. I will.
And your ref sheet. You should send me your ref sheet too.
All right.
No reason. I have no intentions.
All right. I will try to remember to do
Uh-huh.
that.
You better.
So thank you, Carl, for accepting to be here once again. Because we are gonna,
Of course.
because there is a question I ask every time at the end.
Oh
and
my
we're
gosh,
gonna,
this is already that time?
yeah, we've been already
Whoa.
talking for 1 hour and 25 minutes, Carl.
Whoa.
Yeah, it goes super quick.
Oh,
It goes super quick.
time flies because you're
Yeah.
very fun.
Thank you. It's really nice to talk. That's why I love doing this kind of stuff. It's because you lose track of time and you learn so much, and
Yeah.
it's great, and I love it. Um, So the last question is a bit more personal, but I like, like I said at the beginning, I was like, yeah, our body, our brain is more like keen to remember the bad stuff because that's how it goes. It is what it is. So
Yeah.
2023 is going to an end soon. There is like 1.5 month remaining. So when I will ask you that, you need to, if you want to, tell me the first thing that goes into your mind. But what is your best memory of 2023, Carl?
Jaw.
Oh, that's so
He's
cute.
become my world. He's become my world, and I could tell because the fact that you even have like you have your ring on your hand, which is a beautiful sign of your
Yeah.
love. Um, I they have become my world, and they matter so much to me. They have made my life feel worth so much more. You go through life and you're kind of like, yeah, I'll have a partner one day, or I'll love someone one day, or whatever. And then one day someone will just come into your life, and you'll never expect how it'll go. And since they have been in my life, they are my best friend. They have they're just so funny. They make me smile. They talked me through some of my lowest moments this year,
Yeah.
and they have kept me strong. And I'm ready to face the world with them. So they are definitely the best thing that's happened to me. Not even me getting partner this year or anything like that. Like no. This person is the best thing, the best memory of the year for me,
That's amazing.
for sure.
That's
Yeah.
lovely. Yeah, that's very cute. And also the fact that when you said the day and you were like, oh yeah, tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Tomorrow is your
Yeah,
anniversary?
it's
That's right.
tomorrow. It's
That's so
literally
cute.
tomorrow is the anniversary.
So home.
Oh,
So it's gonna be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
one whole year. One whole
Okay,
year.
that's great. And
Yeah.
many more to come for you guys.
Oh,
Really
yes.
cute.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing all those stories with me today, Carl. It was very lovely to talk to
It's
you.
such a pleasure.
Yeah, it's really fun.
You are
It's really
you are
nice.
very, very good at this. You're very good at this. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you. Yeah, I try my best. I want like if you look at the first episode of the first season, it was not like that. It was way worse. But it's
It
just like
gets better
everything.
over
Yeah,
time.
it gets
Yeah.
better. You talk about like the stress and stuff just before doing stuff. I was also stressed, but I would say it's the good stress, the stress that motivates you
Oh
to
yeah.
move your butt. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something that I mean, I love meeting people, but it's always that moment where you meet someone. It's like not the best feeling ever. You try to like like give off a good impression or something. But I love it. And that's why I continue doing it. And there's going to be many more episodes
Yeah.
of the Friday Fox Show, I hope.
Yes, I can't wait to watch.
Well, this episode is going to be, I mean, we're not over. I'm not going to say that.
Oh,
Still
I'm
have
talking about the
something.
other episodes that you got. I'm talking about all the episodes you got
Yeah.
planned. I can't wait to be a viewer and to watch.
Yeah, but before saying that, if you have anything to promote, you can do it now. That's just before saying everything I
Oh,
say at the end of the stream. If you have anything to promote
okay.
your stream, a friend stream, a project you're working on, your Twitter, whatever, it's your time.
Oh
Carl.
yeah. Oh well, every week I stream like 3 to 4 times a week. I've been trying to get earlier, like at least every week, at least one day, really early, like around this
All
time.
right.
So for anybody that's in the UK or the EU, all throughout, like across the pond, because I'm American. So I usually stream late at night, but I've been trying to get an earlier time as well, like once a week. So I stream like 3 or 4 times a week. I play a bunch of different games. I do art streams. I explain what I'm doing. I'm always happy to answer questions while I'm doing my art. And then when I do the games, I just have fun. A lot of times I have my partners there with me, or
Yeah.
friends are there. I do like different collabs and stuff. So typical stream stuff. And then you could always see my art on my socials. And again, just thank you very much for all the love and support. Thank you so much for supporting Zav, and thank you so much for being here to support both of us, and just take care of yourselves, and be kind to each other, and just love yourself. And thank you
Oh.
so much.